So you mentioned some of the things that keep you going. Is there any other things that keep you from burning out? Because it can kind of get overwhelming, especially once you're producing hundreds of animals every year.
Yeah, I mean, AJ's been an incredible help. I think to keep from getting burnout, honestly, the reptile building is my safe place. It's something that, when I'm having a rough day, that's where I can go to decompress and just open drawers and look at baby hognose snakes and big hognose snakes and the ones that are coming up. But to keep from getting burnout, I would say just have, if you're producing more than you can take care of by yourself, make sure you either hire somebody or just have some type of assistance there, just in some way, shape, or form. Look in streamlining your process. Cleaning tubs. Cleaning tubs can be, a monotonous task when you have, hundreds of animals. So I thought outside the box there, and I actually do dishwashers. Literal dishwashers. I just got them all lined up in a row. I've got a row of 4 of them, and that can take some workload off. From just getting burnt out from just washing tubs. You can fill them up, hit start, walk away, go be with your family, go do whatever else you need to do. So I think just from an operational standpoint, finding where you can streamline your process to be more efficient. I think that's important and not getting burnt out
at every step.
Yeah. And so you've been in this industry for a number of years, and I'm sure you've seen people come and go. Um, how long do you think the average person stays into this hobby once they first start out?
Well, I would say 2 to 3 years. And that's people coming in looking at it just from the monetary perspective. I feel like if you have passion for the animals, I think you'll always be around at some capacity. So it doesn't mean that you have to treat it like a business. You could still keep it as a very small hobby, upwards of 10 animals or something like that you can have fun with. I think 2 to 3 years, honestly, it weeds out those people that are in it for the wrong reasons. Some things that happen, they could have an animal die. They could have poor breeding success, so they don't see the point of moving forward. I think that's one of the biggest frustrations for a lot of people is they want that instant gratification, and so they go in the search for adult animals, to breed and things like that, and that can be tough sometimes. When you try to take adult animals from one person's collection, bring them over to yours, they have to learn everything new. The temperature inside the room may be different, the humidity inside the room may be different. It makes it really tough. So I think that's why it's very important, if you want to have good, consistent breeding results, start with babies. I think that is very important. Babies or like 6 to 8 month-year-old animals. Definitely breeder animals. Just you can get some success, but it usually only happens. It's very spotty. If you raise them inside of your collection the way that you keep them, you can have much better success long term.
I
Yeah,
think
that's a. Oh, you
vetting
go
things
ahead.
well. I see a lot of people because I take care of all the sales for us, and there's a number of people that kind of will try and spend all of the money that they have in their bank account to buy these nice animals, and I try and give them other options that they could look at and stuff like that. Just because I think that if you put too much money into the hobby at one time, you can set yourself up for failure if they don't reproduce the year you're expecting them to reproduce, or something like that were to happen. And that can really pull you, or I've seen it, like kind of pull people away from the hobby because they get so discouraged, because things aren't working out as well as they planned for. And I think we all have to remember that these are animals, and there's a lot of variables to take into account.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
people can get frustrated very easy. These hognose snakes are, such an interesting species. They're very rewarding on all ends. The difficulty there is some difficulty with getting them going. You know, it's tough every year. You know, you'll have one clutch of animals that will eat, you know, unscented meals, every single one from the get-go. And then you'll have another clutch from another set of animals that nobody wants to eat for, you know, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks. You know, you just got to keep on plugging away with them and try different scents and things that may work for them to get them going. And it's very interesting how it's by clutch. You know, it's not just a single animal or things like that, but it's by clutch. And so that can be discouraging to some people as well, in my opinion.
And to piggyback off that, I would say if I can get 700 to 1,000 animals eating, I guarantee any one of you out there can get your animal eating.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
will not, like, try not to stress too much. If you get it from somebody and it doesn't eat the first week, like, it will be okay. It will work itself out.
Yes. Yes. 100%. I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions is people will get a hognose snake from someone, and you know they're concerned it doesn't eat that first week. You know, I've had numerous calls and inquiries on Instagram, you know, about how do I get my hognose snake to eat, and I'll ask them how long have they had it. They're like, well, 2 weeks and it hasn't eaten once. I'm like, man, come back to me and talk to me in 10 weeks. That's, you know, it just needs some time to settle in and get comfortable for sure.
Yeah, and I think those are great points, especially why somebody should start with a baby hog nose, because it gives you time, it gives you a few years to actually learn how to care for these animals and experience picky eaters or when they go on food strikes. I would hate for somebody that has um, never had this species of snake get a bunch of adults and produce maybe 3 or 4 clutches, and then now you have all these baby hognose snakes, and half of them may not eat, and now that's really going to discourage you from continuing because you don't really have the experience on raising baby snakes. So
Yeah.
definitely, I recommend, like you said, maybe one subadult female, which is kind of what I did. So I had her as an adult. She was my first adult, so I only had one clutch of eggs my first year to deal with, and so I kind of learned how to raise baby snakes, but just dealing with one clutch, which was really manageable. And so now the next females that are coming of age, I have more experience and I kind of know how to get them going. But if I would have started out with a bunch of adults and just hashed out a bunch of eggs my first year, I probably would have quit, especially if I would have had a bunch of them not eating.
Yeah, and I got to congratulate you. You just made a Mai Tai, didn't you?
No, I bought that one.
Oh, did you? Oh man, I made that. All right.
Yeah,
I was like, oh man, you know, I was hoping you made yourself a Mai Tai. But well, hey, congratulations on the Mai Tai. I think it's a wonderful genetic combination. I think it's behind. You know, there should have been a lot more people messing with those now, and it's a beautiful color combination for sure. One of my favorites. I'm kind of partial to them. So.
especially the Arctic. You produced the Arctic Super Condom Mai Tai. That's probably my favorite one that you've produced this year that you've shown. I was like, man, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's I produced a couple of them, and they're really cool snakes. Just the richness that the Arctic brings to it is it's incredible. It's like a burnt orange, you know, and it's really cool snakes.
And I now have a Patreon account for those who want to support me even further. Here you will have access to exclusive videos, giveaways, as well as discounts. The link will be in the bottom in the description. And if you purchase Reppy links, feel free to use the discount code ShovelHogs to receive 5% off of all purchases.